Good morning. Which is most important? Getting work done or making videos? I doing some work, and I was intending on making a video a long time ago, but anyhow, I got this old Hobart welder I've had out here in the field for maybe 20-25 years. I started on it last night, took that sheet metal off. I got all these big copper wires unsoldered. Whatever. I got in there, cut back in there, and cut the main shaft in two. So this thing should come off now. It's still got some frame on the other side holding it up. And I took a bunch of bolts out there to get these copper coils out. It's got a whole bunch of them in there. Anyhow, I'm going to up get the skid loader and yank this thing off and get the copper out of it, and cut up the rest of the steel frame, put it in the junk. The old engine ain't much good for anything. Funny thing, I forget what I paid for this thing down at the tractor auction down at Tri-Green, but I don't have much in it because an Amish fella come over here one day and had an old antique radiator off some gas engine air compressor that wasn't no good. And this thing just happened to have exactly the same radiator and the same engine. So I sold him the radiator. So this thing ain't owed me a penny ever since I got it. But so I'm going to get rid of it here pretty soon. Now look at there, I finally got that load of junk loaded up. Got it ready to go town. Looks like I need a little air in that tire. What's on there? 6-row international cultivator, a 4-row international, a 4-row Alice, about an 18-foot Alice field cultivator, spike tooth, about a 16-foot spike tooth harrow goes on the back of a field cultivator, spring tooth harrow, some John Deere wheels, and pipe frame parts of a 6-row John Deere corn planter. And it's all junk, and a few other little odds and ends. It's about ready to go town, but I've been waiting to I've been waiting to haul it to town, because the other day when I hauled that big load of them hopper beds full of sheet metal, when I hauled them up the junkyard, I had to get the straps off. And the time I got them off and pulled the truck up there to get unloaded, I was having a bit of a fit from not breathing real good, and I was about had, but I had an oxygen tank in the truck, a small portable one, and the girl up there that checks the loads, she went over in the truck, got it out of the truck for me, and I took a couple puffs on it, and then I was feeling pretty good again. And anyhow, I'd used it a time or two since, and it kind of run out and got empty, and I called the oxygen company and told them, well, that tank's empty, I need a refill, and I told them what I'd used it up, and they said, oh, your oxygen's for nighttime use only. We won't fill it because you use it up in the daytime. So today I called the doctor and says, hey, can you do something so I'm allowed to use that oxygen a little bit in the daytime, because I work in the daytime. I can't just sit around all day doing nothing. because I don't have quite enough wind to do anything more than just setting. You know, I still got a lot of work to do yet. But anyhow, so that's where we're at. I'm going out and take the truck up, get the skid loader, and pick up that welder part, haul it up there and yank it all apart. I figure it's probably got about 100 pounds of copper in it at $4 or $4.50 a pound or something like that. I just can't leave it laying out here in the field for someday somebody to buy it at a state auction for $10. Yeah, all right. Of course, what am I going to do if I convert it to money? I don't need anything right now, so whatever. It's just something to do in my spare time. All right, I guess that's all for now. I'll pick the truck up and get to work. All right, that's enough for now. Bye. Well, it kind of looks like maybe I shouldn't have took all them bolts out of them magnets or coils before I got it up here. It kind of fell all over the place. But I'll take some more out. We'll get it took apart here pretty soon. Alright. Gotta go find some buckets to put that stuff in. Alright, I'll get busy. Well, I took apart part of it. Got it ready to pick it up and drop it real far and knock the rotor out and get the inside magnets coils out. And this is what I got out of the back, what do they call it, exciter coil or something. And 4 wire windings there and 4 windings there. These are the heavy wires out of the welder. And there's some brass and some odds and ends in there. And them big pieces, I got to cut the solder off of them, or I'll have to give them away if I don't. All right, we'll start the skid loader up and start banging this thing around and watch it fall apart. I don't know. I'll try to. I'll see if I can do video on that. Oh, no more than not. Oh, we'll try it. Well, the rotor didn't want to come out just yet. That other end come off pretty quick. I picked it up and dropped it a few times and landed on the end and everything. It moved a little, but I'll have to get the torch and cut that outside housing in half. Then it'll come apart. And then we'll have a whole bunch of pieces. And probably a week's work to get the copper out of that rotor. Or maybe not. Alright. I'm back at it. Yeah, I made a little progress. I cut it in a couple places. That didn't help much, but must have burnt some of the dirt out. I picked it up, dropped it a couple times, and it come apart. So now I got to get them coils out, let them cool off a little. And this rotor, I'm going to cut that fan out of the middle and cut the shaft in two, because either one of them pieces is just too heavy to handle. But it'll take a long time to clean that. But I cleaned one last summer, been out in the burn pile for 20 years. It was all good. Alright, break time now. Well, I got it almost done. I got the outside of it all took apart. Still got the rotor there to work on. And here's all the copper I got. All this fine wire. That's all number 2. Then that stuff and all this is number 1. But that's going to take a lot of cleaning to make that presentable. And these things, they're stuck together so tight, they're going to be an awful job getting apart. Then I got some brass there, and then some scrap iron. This turned out to be a lot of work. And, oh, I think them's a good 5 pound a piece. They're probably 10 pounds a piece. Now we'll put the number 2 in on top. Now we got all this stuff and it's got to be cleaned. Gotta take some of the insulation off. Gotta take some of the solder off. Now, I'll take that up the barn and be another day's work on it. Oh. And this heavy iron, it goes in the junk. And the rotor, I'm going to cut it in 2. Alright, that's enough for now. We just had another nice big rain. Looks pretty good now. Awful lightning and thunder. Anyhow, right here, that bucket full, and that bucket full come out of that old welder. And these bucketfuls come out of welders and electric motors and stuff. Anyhow, got so many of them in the road I got to climb over, and I decided I'd just take them down and get rid of them. We'll find out what this stuff's worth later. Alright, I'll have them weigh these 3 buckets to see how much was in that one old welder. Alright, that's enough for now.